isn't nothing like that. It isn't nothing like that good soul music. Now use it and let Jay prove it. Just lose it. With everything you do, just know she got your back, yo. And she'll even make you laugh show after show. She got the vibes that'll make you ride top down. And if you got a couple pounds, she'll be around. Justified madness.
Yvette, and thank you for tuning into this SoundOff Wednesday edition of Justified Madness. That was music by H.E.R. featuring Chris Brown with Come Through. Now that song is in heavy rotation on my personal playlist. Gotta love that smooth R&B. Now H.E.R. is on tour right now. She kicked off her tour in Atlanta over this past weekend. She'll be here in the DMV on October 25th, and I'm trying to come through because she is an awesome musician. So you owe it to yourself to check her out. Go to Ticketmaster.com for the deets and grab your tickets. If she's coming to your town, you definitely want to check her out and enjoy a great night of music with her. Now, it is Sound Off Wednesday, and I have something I want to sound off about. Anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers, or more specifically anti-COVID vaxxers, because a lot of these people aren't against vaccines. They're just against that one. Now, I'm not here to judge anyone for their personal beliefs on anything, and that's including vaccines. My problem is, why are these Karens and Kens out here screaming in people's faces, staging tantrums in grocery stores, coughing on people, acting a whole damn fool because some states require masks to enter businesses in that state? Or some businesses are imposing policies that say you have to wear a mask to come into my establishment. If you don't want to wear a mask, that's your choice. But you don't get to harass people and scream and cough in people's faces because that's your choice. Private businesses do not have to break their own policies to cater to you. They are not concerned about they are concerned about keeping their employees and their customers safe. And in case y'all missed it, we're still navigating our way through a global pandemic. So the smart thing to do is to impose policies that protect your employees and your customers. You don't get to just march up in there with your maskless self, wreaking all kinds of havoc and possibly making people sick. Okay, I have personally lost several friends to this thing, so I know it's real. So in short, while you're marching around screaming about your freedom, what you don't have the right to do is to restrict other people's freedom because you want to be selfish. Okay, do better. Now, another thing I want to sound off about, some of y'all throw around the term cancel culture when you don't even know what it means. Let me give you an example. John Gruden, the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, who resigned because he was being held accountable for his racist, sexist, and homophobic emails, that's not cancel culture. That's accountability. Say it with me, y'all. Accountability. You're not being canceled because you're being held accountable for your own stuff. And coincidentally, the emails were being sent to the owner of the Washington football team, who formerly had a name that was considered racist, but I digress. Let me give you an example of what cancel culture actually is. Colin Kaepernick not being able to play in the NFL because he chose to kneel during the anthem. That's cancel culture, because there was absolutely no reason for Colin Kaepernick not to play. Now, everybody tried to come at me with but he was a trash quarterback. No, he wasn't. At the time he was removed from the NFL, his stats were up there higher than a lot of the quarterbacks that were actively playing. So you can miss me with that drama. And speaking of so-called cancel culture, why are folks trying to cancel Dave Chappelle? Now, I know some folks are uncomfortable with his jokes, particularly about the LGBTQ community, and I actually get that, especially some of the comments that he has made about the transgender community. Now, I can say, maybe he just doesn't understand, because I'm going to use myself as an example. I always have tried not to actually put anybody down or disrespect anyone, but I didn't understand what transgender really means until someone that I dearly love was struggling with their gender identity. And sometimes we say things on a subject that are insensitive because we simply don't understand. Now, that's a separate conversation. But that's something that maybe we can sit down with Dave Chappelle and help him understand that. But the particular joke that everybody seems to be up in arms about, is in reference to the fact that the rapper, killed someone with no consequence, but his career was almost ended because he made comments that offended the LGBTQ community. Now, if we're going to be honest, Dave Chappelle didn't lie. It was during an altercation. The baby actually did shoot someone and that person died. No one ever made a big deal about it. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know that happened until this whole conversation about Dave Chappelle came about. So my thing is, he didn't lie. There was no consequence over someone dying, but the man's career was almost ended because he offended the LGBTQ community. So, that kind of speaks to, it's not a dig at the LGBTQ community, or at least I don't see it that way, as much as it is a statement about where we are in our society, that, someone actually died and no one blinked an eye, but a community was offended and someone's career almost ended because of that. So, there's a lot we can talk about, but canceling Dave Chappelle, I don't think is the way to go here. And again, I think maybe we could have a conversation about how targeting a particular group of people in your comedy, could, I would say, in some people's minds, maybe validate their prejudice against that group and could lead to actual, heightening of the discrimination against that group. That's a conversation to be had. If what I just said makes sense. I hope it came across the way it sounded in my head. But the bottom line is, we've got to stop with all this, every time we talk about something or point out something, it's, cancel culture. No, that phrase is really overused. And I think we need to cancel the phrase cancel culture for real. Now, all of that being said, earlier I mentioned that H.E.R is currently on tour, and another awesome artist is on tour as well, and that would be Bruno Mars. I was a bit sad that tickets to his show ranged from $475 to over $1,000, so I didn't get to see him because, the way my bank account is set up. Anyway, Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak have, of course, formed Silk Sonic, and their album drops on November 12th. This next song is a feel-good track from that upcoming album, and it's one of those songs that I like to play on repeat, because why not? This is Silk Sonic with Skate, and you're tuned into the SoundOff Wednesday edition of Justified Madness. What's up, what's happening? It's your girl, Yvette, taking a pause for the cause to let you know what's new in movies and music this week. Starting on the music scene, new singles dropping this week. 24K Golden featuring Lil Tecca with Prada, Chloe Lilac with 19, Coffee with West Indies, Kylie Minogue and Years and Years with A Second to Midnight, RuPaul has a new single called Blame It on the Edit, and Young T and Bugsy with Big Business. New albums dropping this week: AJ Mitchell and Skyview, Justin Bieber with Justice, the complete edition, Notorious B.I.G.'s Ready to Die is dropping on vinyl, and Pynk's All I Know So Far setlist is also dropping on vinyl. Wayward Song with Even Up the Score, and We Are Scientists with Huffy. For the full list of new music, check out officialcharts.com and click on new releases. Now, opening at the movies this week, Halloween Kills. The nightmare isn't over as unstoppable killer Michael Myers escapes from Laurie Strode's trap to continue his ritual bloodbath. Injured and taken to the hospital, Laurie fights through pain as she inspires residents of Hagenfield, Illinois, to rise up against Myers. Taking matters into their own hands, the Strode women and other survivors form a vigilante mob and hunt down Michael to end his reign of terror once and for all. Halloween Kills stars Jamie Lee Curtis and Anthony Michael Hall, and it's rated R. Now, if you're more of a stay-at-home and chill kind of movie lover, no worries. Now is a good time to try out Paramount Plus. The most captivating stories and experiences are on Paramount Plus. Thousands of episodes, live TV, and exclusive originals all in one place. Try 1 week free and watch on your devices, including your phone, tablet, or Amazon Fire Stick. Go to ParamountPlus.com now to start your free trial. So that's the wrap up for the week. Now let's get back to the show. You're tuned into Justified Madness with the girl J1 Yvette.
Here's a song you just might hear on Millennium Tour 2021, starring Omarion, Bow Wow, Ashanti, Pretty Ricky, Sammy, Lloyd, Ying Yang Twins, and more. Brought to you by H.E.R Events.
It's the SoundOff Wednesday edition of Justified Madness with your girl J1 Yvette, and that's music from your boy Shad Moss, aka Bow Wow. He's currently on tour with Omarion, Lloyd, Pretty Ricky, and more with the Millennium Tour. So make sure you go to gsquaredevents.com for deets and to grab your tickets. And you never know what surprise guests might pop up. So if they're coming to a town near you, go on and grab them tickets. A quick programming note, I'll be back on the air this Saturday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time with the Saturday Madness edition of Justified Madness. I'm on the air every Sunday, Wednesday, and Saturday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on blogtalkradio.com/Justified Madness. Now, I have one more sound off before I go. Just a piece of advice, actually. When you go on social media to try to make other people look bad, you really make yourself look bad. Just a word of advice. Now, if you miss any episodes of Justified Madness, you can catch up right here on Blog Talk Radio or look for the Justified Madness podcast at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Podchaser, and almost anywhere else you get your podcast. Just Google J1 Yvette Justified Madness and Justified Madness Extra to find out where you can listen. Now, I got to send a shout out to Team J1 Yvette. That's my official promo team, and it's run by Tracy, Alex, and Amina. You can follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Team J1 Yvette. And also make sure you follow me on the Twitter at J1 Yvette1. That's JWANYVETTE and the number 1. And I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Fanbase at Justified Madness 31. I gotta send shout outs to my hubba bubba Ellis, my big sis Debbie Deb, all my fam bam, whether by blood or by love, I love y'all to life. My ATL fam, my Twamley, Boogie, Desi, Nikisha, Yvette, Tina, Shane, and of course, last but never ever least, my daughter Jessie. Y'all know her as Jessie James, and you hear her at the top of the hour every Wednesday and Saturday night right here on Justified Madness. Now, next up, I have music from Lil Nas X featuring Jack Harlow with Industry Baby. And on the other side of the commercial, I'm closing out with exclusive music from Pynk, Dymund. It's an exclusive you can only hear here on Justified Madness and also on her SoundCloud page. Check her out at soundcloud.com/IamPynkDymund. I am Pynk Dymund. PYNKDYMUND, and check this out. Now, shout out to MixLa for the track. And you can, if you're a rapper or singer looking for beats, check them out on YouTube. MixLa, that's MIXLA. Check them out on YouTube. They got some fire beats, y'all. Now, I'll see you Saturday night at 11 p.m. for the Saturday Madness edition of Justified Madness with your girl, Yvette. God bless and good night.
Get ready for the biggest concert party experience of the millennium. The Millennium Tour 2021, starring Omarion.
If your chick come close to me, she ain't going home when she supposed to be.
With Bow Wow.
I ain't never had nobody do me like you.
Plus Grammy Award winner, Ashanti.
See my days are cold without you, but I'm hurting around me.
Also performing live, Soulja Boy. Plus the Yin Yang Twins, Pretty Ricky. Along with Lloyd and Sammy, all coming to a city near you. The Millennium Tour 2021. For tickets and more info, contact your local venue website, your local ticket provider, and be sure to visit gsquaredevents.com.
Get your tickets to the hottest concert party of the year.
This is a Justified Madness exclusive.